Changes. Exterior London Underground Pedestrian Tunnel, afternoon. We're looking down a brightly lit, orange-tiled tunnel between platforms deep underground. Empty, except for endless ad posters. There's the faint sound of a guitar being mangled in the distance. Then there's the echoey thunder of boys' feet. 2 12-year-old boys in posh school uniform, heavy rucksacks jangling on their backs, race past us down the corridor. Exterior London Underground Pedestrian Tunnel, continuous. Around the corner, we see the boys heading towards us. Just in the lead is Toby, mixed race, slight, in need of a haircut. Behind him, slowed down by a heavier bag, is Nick, a bit taller, a bit neater, a bit heavier. Both boys are a little out of puff, but the expressions on their faces as they run is joyous. Exterior London Underground Pedestrian Tunnel, continuous. On to a noisier main thoroughfare now. The boys zigzag around a businessman with a wheelie suitcase, then split up to go each side of a group of young backpacking tourists. Back together, they take a sharp right down another unmarked side corridor. Exterior London Underground Pedestrian Tunnel, continuous. The hubbub lowers, and the sound of the red-faced boys' steps fills the air again. Then there's a low rumble, getting louder.
Train.
Exterior London Underground corridor and stairs, continuous. With a burst of uncoordinated acceleration, the boys turn another corner, and there's a flight of stairs ahead. There's echoes of a tannoy message from the top of the stairs. Train doors can be heard beeping. As they reach the base of the staircase, passengers start coming down from the top. The boys bound up the stairs to the left of the Keep Right sign. They shout polite apologies as they dodge around traffic. Exterior London Underground platform, continuous. As the boys burst from the top of the stairs, the train doors shut with a pneumatic wheeze. Too late. There's a rising whir as the train pulls away. Toby leans back against a tube mat. Nick stands beside him, checking his watch and the indicator board.
Can't make the 1609 now. This is the closest yet.
Toby's not paying much attention. He's distracted by a jewelry advertising hoarding on the far wall, featuring a woman wearing a necklace and not much else. Nick's still fixed on the indicator board. The next train is in 1 minute. Interior, moving Metropolitan Line train, few minutes later. Above ground now, the two boys are sitting opposite each other on a busy-ish train. Low winter sun is streaming through the window, causing them to squint and shield the screens of their phones.
Have you looked at the homework?
Not yet.
Loads of math, but got some of it done in class.
You want wine later?
Got trumpet, but hopefully.
Think I know how to get to Sauron's arena now.
There's a rattly whomp as a faster, non-stopping service whizzes past their train, blocking the sun's glare for a moment. After it passes, Toby scrunches his eyes to look out into the flats and back gardens overlooked by the tracks. Interior Metropolitan Line train entering station, moments later. As the train slows coming into the station, blurry lines outside the window resolve to show we've reached Wembley Park. The doors open with a beep. Nick grabs his bag and jumps to his feet.
Bye.
See ya.
Running again, Nick heads for the stairs, jostling his rucksack onto his back and checking his watch. The train pulls away and the platform blurs again. Interior Toby's house hallway a little while later. Toby comes through the front door into the IKEA-furnished hallway of his ex-council, semi-detached home. He dumps his bag and jacket, takes out his phone. He opens messaging, sends the message home to Mum. He gets a kiss emoji back, which he promptly deletes. Interior Toby's house, front door, early evening. Jen, 40, wearing a glamorous big coat over a more staid business suit, struggles through the front door, pushing Toby's bag out of the way. She has her keys in one hand, a couple of awkwardly swinging supermarket bags in the other, and a loaf of bread tucked under her chin. Dropping her keys into a bowl and the bread into her free hand, she looks towards the door to the living room.
Tubbs, come up and help out the car.
She keeps looking at the door. We hear nothing but perhaps the faintest plasticky clicking and the shifting of the beanbag.
Toby?
Just finishing this battle.
Interior Toby's house living room, continuous. Toby, gaming headset on, but with one ear partially uncovered now, is playing a combat game on his Xbox. He's shifting his focus between the fight on the screen and the door where his mum is on the other side. Interior Toby's house living room, early evening. Toby and his mum are having dinner in front of the telly. Jen is leaning back on the sofa, bowl in one hand, fork in the other. Toby's on the floor eating his from the coffee table.
Still okay today?
Alright.
Did she come back from day?
Yeah,
And Alzy?
usual.
Did you have much homework?
Just a bit of maths.
Finished?
Just a bit left.
After dinner?
Interior Toby's house living room a little later. Toby and Jen are watching TV together, topping and tailing from each end of the sofa. On the TV, a grumpy comedian is getting cross about the nonsensical rules of a panel quiz game. They're laughing together. Interior Toby's house, upstairs hallway later. Jen skips up the stairs, a folded stack of old, mismatched but clean towels in front of her. She heads to a door that's closed over, but not completely shut, and nudges it open with her foot. There's the sound of panicked movement in water.
I'm in here.
I just need to get to the area cupboard.
From behind Jen, we can see she's opened the bathroom door, and in front of her is the cupboard, which she opens to put away the towels. She glances to the left where Toby is in the bath. She's a little taken aback.
Haven't seen you playing with those Star Wars figures in a long time.
A bit of privacy, please.
Jen closes the cupboard, pulls the door behind her as she leaves.
Don't forget to wash your hair.
Interior School Science Lab, day. A classroom full of boys around benches working on an electronics project, a low-level hubbub of concentration. On the edge of their high stools, Toby and Nick are across a bench from each other, connecting circuit boards and switches. A stocky classmate swans across to join them.
Borrow me one of your clips.
Nick sifts through the kit they have on the table to find one of the tattier-looking crocodile clips.
There you go.
The stocky classmate takes the clip and leaves. As he loops around Nick, he pauses slightly, then moves away. A lanky classmate walks behind Nick, gives him a pat on the back as he too slowly passes. A zitty classmate comes to the bench between Toby and Nick.
Have you got any spare cocktail clips?
Nick sorts through the gear in the bench and hands over another lead with clips at each end.
You know, we all start with the same amount of kit for this experiment. You might be using too many.
Toby sees more movement behind Nick's back. He grins a little as he figures it out. Nick looks around, and there's their zitty classmate duck walking behind him with the clip in his hand. Nick pushes his stool back with a screech.
Hey, what are you doing?
The noise and raised voice gets the teacher's attention.
Hey, what's going on back there?
The crouching schoolboy stumbles away quickly as a snigger ripples across the room. Nick glances around from side to side. There's a rattling sound with every movement. The back of his jumper is covered with leads and clips. The teacher swoops in.
What's going on then? Take those off at once. Get back to your work.
Nick contorts himself to get the leads off his back. Toby comes around to help get a few of the harder-to-reach ones.
Why am I in trouble? I didn't connect them to my own back.
He's not mad at you, he's just grumpy.
They're very immature, some of these boys.
Exterior underground escalators, late afternoon. A bank of 3 escalators, one coming down, 2 heading up. Toby and Nick are taking an up escalator each, moving fast, but with different styles. Toby loping up 2 steps at a time. Nick, legs pumping hard, taking each step individually. They reach the top to the sound of a train pulling in. There's 2 maps, eastbound and westbound. Running fast, they hang left and go west. Doors closing, warns an automated voice. Toby bursts onto the platform and hops onto the train. The doors are shutting as Nick follows a split second behind him. His rucksack is clipped, but he's made it.
Yes! And we're in the right spot. If we follow the sign for the Jubilee, but duck off before the stairs and link up to the escalator,
Nick stops to check his watch.
there's a real chance we'll make the 1609.
Toby nods, determined. The train judders to a halt. The lights go out briefly, then flicker back on again. It's quiet in the tunnel. With a staticky crackle, we hear the tube driver.
Apologies for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. We've hit an unexpected red just outside Baker Street. We should be on our way again very shortly. Thank you.
The boys look at each other grimly. Another attempt is blown. Exterior Baker Street, Met Line Concourse. Moments later. Running from the top of the escalator, Nick and Toby check the indicator boards. It's 16:12. Next train is in 4 minutes. They dejectedly head up the stairs to the platform. Exterior Baker Street Station, platforms 3 and 4, continuous. Coming onto the platform, the boys walk alongside a waiting train, heading for their usual carriage.
You boys!
The boys freeze at the sound of the teacher-like voice coming from the train, before twigging it's Chris, a classmate. The same year as they are, but clearly much further into puberty. Interior Metline train carriage continuous.
What are you doing here?
Going to see my dad.
Where are you getting off?
Northwick Park.
You're at the wrong part of the platform for the exit.
So?
I'll have to walk more. It'll take longer.
Did you get to the Jubilee?
Circle from Notting Hill.
Nick nods, taking that new journey data in.
Your dad's not in the hospital, is he?
No, he's just moved flats.
Oh.
The boys suggest what that means.
You know, Toby lives with just his mum.
Yeah.
Families come in all shapes and sizes.
Chris shoots Nick a funny look. Toby doesn't even really notice. As the doors close, a group of 3 girls run onto the platform. Too late. They are about the same age as the boys and wearing a red and plaid uniform. One with curly hair, her uniform a little disheveled. One, her uniform tweaked to the edge of regulations, managing to pull off a jaunty beret. The last girl, looking immaculate, is very Smiley. Chris notices them, and his sudden alertness draws the attention of the other 2. The train slowly pulls away. There's a pause. They all stare out the window.
What school is that?
I haven't seen that uniform before.
Another pause.
They'll be waiting a while for the 1622.
Interior Toby's house, kitchen, diner, evening. Friday night, the dining table is strewn with takeaway and drinks. Jen is still at the table, talking to her best pal, Clare. In her late 30s, Clare has an open face that easily and often switches between kindness and anxiety. Past the two of them, we can see the back of Toby, headphones on, dancing around while he plays on his Xbox. As Jen talks, Clare is tapping thoughtfully at her large-screen iPhone.
You're absolutely right. There's no way they should be treated like that.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I could have prepped better.
You're taking on huge amounts because they're short-staffed. What they're expecting is unreasonable. Well, they're taking advantage because you're new and brilliant.
Clare looks up at Jen.
You think Nadia'd take me back if I said I made a huge mistake?
Are you forgetting Monday morning meetings? Stopwatch diagnosis sessions? Mrs. Hetherington?
You're right, I'm doomed either way.
Clare passes the phone across to Jen, gesturing to the screen.
That's lovely.
I thought that style would really suit you.
It's a bit dressy.
You like a bit of glamour.
Not really essential for watching at just deck on a Saturday.
Jen strokes and taps on the phone screen.
Those pajamas look nice.
Clare spears a large prawn.
Gotta stop eating this.
Jen pauses, looks around, clocks Toby is still up, well past his bedtime, even for a Friday.
Toby. Toby!
Headset comes off. He turns to glance over at Jen while still playing.
Time for bed.
I've nearly finished the stage.
It's already very late.
It won't save my progress.
You've got 5 minutes, then no arguments.
They go back to the conversation. Toby doesn't put back on the headset.
Did I tell you about my friend Rachel?
The slightly slushy one?
She's my interesting friend, yes. Anyway, she met a man, and looks like she might be keeping him.
Really?
Found him on a dating app 3 months ago, and now they're inseparable. Going to the Seychelles in the new year.
Oh, a bit of sunshine, warm sea.
You could always mind Toby for the week. You could meet a pool boy.
There are a few reasons I don't think that's going to be happening.
The back of Toby's head tilts at the mention of his name, but he goes back to focusing on his game.
Did you ever think about taking matters into your own hands?
Steady.
You know what I mean. Why not try one of the apps or something?
I think life would be fine without more dick pics.
Have you never even signed up for one?
Jen takes a drink.
No.
You have. I can see it on your face. When was this? What was it like?
I have not.
Jen takes another drink.
One evening I might have had a look. Ranji had just been talking about it and I was just being nosy.
Oh my god, do you have a profile?
I deleted it. It was depressing, to be honest.
I've been dying to have a look.
Why haven't you?
You know me. Even admitting the curiosity would drive me mad with guilt. Poor Marty would be driven up the wall. But helping you out would be entirely different.
Jen says nothing.
Go on, give us a wee look.
I deleted it.
It'll be in the cloud.
Another pause, another drink.
I'll just get this one into bed. We might need to open another bottle.
Jen walks across to Toby, drapes an arm around his neck.
Come on, you. Party's over.
Can I just check my armory? I've got a new...
Bed! You've got all weekend to look at it. Come on. Say goodnight to Clare.
Toby looks across and waves quickly to the table.
Good night.
Night-night, love. I'll tell Marty you defeated Zanzibar.
Anchabar.
Anchabar. Got it.
You know what you mean either way.
Come on, up.
Mum, I'm going. God. I'm having a conversation. It's good manners.
Toby heads upstairs. Jen returns to the table, starts cleaning up a little.
Not sure I can fight much longer. I'm getting a teenager.
He's a good boy.
He is. I just need to keep him that way.
Annie's twins are only 10. It's like the Kardashians when you go over there now.
That's gross, though.
Wait till they hit puberty. Jesus, would you ever go back to...
Oh, fuck no. Should I go off and sit in the comfy seat?
It's better over here. Bring us your phone.
Interior upstairs bathroom, moments later. In pajamas, too short in the arms and legs, Toby's brushing his teeth. He finishes, wipes his toothpaste-smeared mouth with the towel. He keeps staring in the mirror, lost in an imaginary conversation. He gives a half smile and a small wave to his reflection and heads to his room. Interior Toby's room, moments later. In his bedroom, with gaming posters on the wall and traces of a younger kid and younger enthusiasms everywhere, Toby gets into bed. Through the floor, the voices of Jen and Clare downstairs can be heard indistinctly, like white noise in the background. Jen calmer, Clare more excited. There's occasional oohs, the odd shriek, and lots of laughter. Smiling, Toby turns out the light. Interior Jen's bedroom, Saturday morning. As Jen sits up in bed, reading, the door to her room is nudged open. Toby comes through, holding a tray.
Now this is a lie. What do we have this week?
Toby passes his mum the tray and walks around to get in the unused side of the bed.
Tea and pan au chocolat.
Jen passes him a plate of breakfast goods and a cuppa for the bedside cabinet.
Lovely.
They're hot. The packet said 2 to 3 minutes at gas Mark 4, but They didn't look ready, so I gave them an extra minute.
Perfect, thank you. So, we can review.
Usual.
Nothing new?
No?
He pauses a little, weighing something up.
And nothing new at school?
Nothing new. Oh, Chris Cousins is coming home with us sometimes now.
I thought he lived in Acton.
His dad's moved to Northwick Park, not in the hospital.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
Doesn't he get in trouble a lot?
I think he's settled down.
Alright.
Distant Worlds 3 comes out next week.
You can go and see that.
It's a game.
He can't believe she doesn't know that, but maybe he needs to be nicer.
So I was thinking maybe I could go to GameStop on Bond Street on the way home.
No, sorry.
I've got the money in my savings.
I don't like roaming in the West End, you know the rules.
It'd be 5 minutes.
No.
But I'm out there anyway. I'd be quick.
No. This is a battle of wills. Toby realizes he's not going to win.
Okay.
Resigned, Toby takes a bite of pain au chocolat. As he does, a large dollop of the chocolat squeezes out of the pain and looks set to splat onto his PJs and Jen's duvet.
Mind that, get the plate.
In the muddle, Toby drops the plate, the flaky pastry, and misses the chocolate dollop, making a mess everywhere.
Toby!
Sorry, Mum.
It's alright, it was inevitable. It's going to happen to one of us. I'm going to miss this when you get all moody and don't want to get out of bed until lunchtime.
Jen looks thoughtful as Toby stabs around for flakes to eat. Then she gets a mischievous glint.
Of course, you know the punishment for crumbs in the bed, don't you?
No.
Thought dungeon!
With that, she grabs the duvet, hooks it over Toby's head as he screams and giggles, legs flailing.
Oh my god, you're never allowed to have black bean sauce again!
Exterior school playground, lunchtime. Toby and Nick are walking across the playground from the CBT building to lunch hall. There's a gaggle of their classmates by the playground fence, surrounding a slightly older boy who's showing them something on his phone. Chris sees them and calls them over.
Matthews, Dubois.
The two boys tentatively latch onto the group and peer at what they're looking at. We hear, but don't see, that it's a porn clip. Nick has an instant physical reaction and skips away from the group, scared. There's a woman's edge-of-control groans, aggressive grunting from a guy. Toby looks troubled, kind of freaked out a bit, but not wanting to be out of the gang. At the sound of an arse being slapped, Toby recoils in shock. The moans get louder.
It's your mum, Willis!
There's a bit of nervous laughter from the group. Toby looks across to Nick, who's standing at a distance, looking anxious.
I just need to pop to the library, get something.
Toby begins to edge away from the group as it reacts in amused disgust to something on the tiny screen. From his position 10 meters away, Nick spots something.
Teacher.
The older kid smoothly lifts his phone into his blazer. The group disperses like a flock of startled pigeons. Interior Jen and Toby's upstairs, morning. Toby, looking a little shifty, carries his pajamas to the washing basket in the bathroom. He lifts a couple of items from the top and drops them in. Interior Jen and Toby's living room, evening. Toby and Jen having dinner again, watching the TV.
Claire's coming over tomorrow tonight to keep an eye on you, and I'm going to the cinema. You can get a takeaway.
What are you going to see?
I can't remember the title. It's a hot tip for the Oscars, apparently.
Who are you going with?
Just a friend, nobody knew.
Who do you know that I don't?
I know him through Jen. He was looking for someone to see this film with.
Toby thinks about that a bit.
Why didn't Claire want to go?
She's seen the movie already.
They go back to eating. Exterior Baker Street Station, platforms 3 and 4. Moments later, Nick bursts out at the top of the stairs to a departing train. Toby follows slowly, faking a stitch.
Maybe we should just get on here.
You know you're asking your mum to get that checked out.
I'll be okay. I just need to sit down.
My mum's cousin ignored her appendicitis. It exploded and she nearly died.
Nick sits down, his back to the platform. Toby sits down across the aisle, looking out over the platform. Nick gets up and goes to sit next to Toby.
Are you going for the Scala this year?
No. Are you?
Campbell in year 9 says it's like the special forces of choirs. They're going to Rome for a contest at Easter. They might meet the Pope.
But it's after school.
They take you out for pizza at the end of term.
Toby remains unconvinced. Then, at the top of the stairs, just meters away, the girls from the other day ascend onto the platform. Toby suddenly looks uncomfortable in his own skin, can't sit right.
It's the kind of thing that looks really good on your UCAS form.
The 3 girls step straight onto the train and walk past the boys, chatting. Toby watches them as they go. They don't look back, but Beret turns to say something to Smiley, and all 3 laugh as they move out of sight. Exterior Metline train, Pinner Station, later. Toby gets off the train absently, playing a game on his phone. As he starts up one side of the bridge to the exit, he spots, coming down the other side, a flash of red and plaid. It's the Smiley girl. He puts on a burst of speed up the stairs, over the bridge, down and through the barriers. Still, by the time he gets to the station car park, she's gone. Interior, Jen and Toby's living room, night. Clare is sitting on the sofa with a mug of tea. Toby is on a beanbag in front of the TV. On the table between them is an open box of celebrations and a lot of empty wrappers.
So, is your friend a big cinema fan?
My friend?
Who Mum's gone with?
Oh, my friend. Yes, he likes to keep up with the latest from Tinseltown.
Tinseltown? Oh, don't panic, Claire. Relax. Change subject.
So, how's the Xbox going?
Good. I reached elite level on Global Crisis.
Cool. Even better than Marty, I bet.
They share a grin. Toby goes back to watching the screen. The danger's past.
So, is it a 15 they're seeing?
Oh, bollocks.
I don't know, love.
You've seen it. Was it very violent? Was there a lot of swearing?
Claire is not comfortable at all, but Toby is too preoccupied to notice.
Better not be the new Death Mask. She said I could stream it as so long as we watched it together.
Well, you're okay there. It's not Death Mask. Now, your mum said it was your bedtime 20 minutes ago.
It's fairly flexible on a Saturday night.
But I don't want to get in trouble with her. She can be scary.
You just need to know how to handle her.
Is that right? But come on. I want to watch Celebrity Dating Hell, which sets a very poor example. And there's lots of kissing.
I'll go. Can I read?
Just for a wee while.
Interior Toby's bedroom later. Toby's in bed, snuggled under the covers with a book of gaming facts and records, lit by a small bedside lamp. There's a key in the door downstairs. He checks the time, 11:40, and flicks his light out. Toby listens to the sounds from downstairs, a coat being hung up, keys put in a bowl. The noise of the TV rises as the living room door opened.
Hi.
How'd it go?
Well now.
The living room door is shut and the voices become too faint to hear, but there's a tone of excitement to the muffled murmuring. In the dark, Toby concentrates on trying to hear a little more. Interior Toby's room later. Toby must have fallen asleep, but he wakes up to the sound of the front door closing. It's 12:20. He hears Chen come out to the kitchen. She's humming to herself as she switches on the dishwasher, runs a glass of water, and turns lights off. As he hears Jen climb to the top of the stairs, Toby closes his eyes. There's a triangle of light across his face as his door opens slightly. He doesn't budge. The door softly closes again. He opens his eyes, hears the sound of the cord for the bathroom light, and closes them again. Exterior Baker Street Station, platforms 3 and 4 a day. Toby and Nick stomp up the stairs with Chris. Platform 3 ahead of them is empty, but there's a waiting train behind them on platform 4, and they get on board and slump into seats.
It's fucking unfair. They shouldn't be allowed to keep us late without proper notice.
That's an interesting question, actually. Does keeping the whole class back count as unlawful detainment? I might ask my dad.
Are you going to be late?
Nah, it's the principal. We're being abused.
Looks like this is the 1617 delayed. Everything's running behind today.
Across the platforms, another Metline train chugs into the platform, catching the boys' attention. Just as the three girls, Curly, Beret, and Smiley, run to the top of the stairs. The girls get on the opposite train and out of view.
Is that Red School again?
Yeah, we saw them the other day too.
Did you say hello?
No.
Realizing that's not really a very cool response.
No, not yet.
Chris stands up.
Come on, let's go over there.
What?
Get that train.
This one leaves in 1 minute.
We're already late.
Toby is wavering. He picks his bag up from the floor, is almost out of his seat.
That's a fast train. I'd miss my stop.
Toby wavers back the other way and lowers himself back into his seat.
Get a slow train 2 stops back.
Chris heads for the doors.
You're really doing it?
They're fit.
We'll be able to play Astro Clash in peace then.
You coming?
Toby's torn. He wants to go, but Chris has had enough waiting around.
See ya.
He's off, crossing the platform, checking the lay of the land. Toby silently slumps, holding his bag in his lap. But this can't be right. He jumps up out of his seat and heads for the doors.
You're going to?
Toby shrugs with a nervous grin and hops off the train.
So irresponsible.
Nick scrambles his bag together and clambers off the train as the doors shut. Exterior Baker Street, train on platform 4. The three boys walk down the carriage. Chris is in the lead, his bag swinging over his shoulder. Next, Toby, still carrying his rucksack in front of him, almost protectively. Then Nick, with straps across both shoulders, spreading the weight correctly. Then, just ahead of them, are the girls.
Hi.
The girls look around at each other, amused.
Hello?
The girls wait for the next zinger. Chris stands in front of the other guys, not holding onto the handrail. No big deal, he just has very good balance. Toby and Nick hold onto the rails, rocking slightly.
What are your names?
I'm Chris, this is Toby, and that's Nicholas.
Just Nick's fine.
This is Vanessa, this is Natalie, and I'm Mandy.
The boys all politely say hello. Well, this is going well.
What school do you go to?
Cardinal O'Malley.
Are you all Christians then?
We're Catholics. We have school mass every week and on feast days, but we're not prejudiced. There's 3 Muslim boys in our class.
3?
Yeah, they don't have to go to mass.
My family's not religious. It's just a good school, you know.
I go because of the sport. Lots of old boys go to the Olympics. We're really good at rowing.
You row?
Next term.
Back to silence. But then Toby is inspired.
What school do you go to?
Paddington High for girls.
Is that a fee-paying school?
They do a lot of scholarships.
Vanessa slips out her phone. Mandy's phone vibrates in her hand. After a few seconds, she takes a look at her screen. Natalie does the same. A flurry of typing begins. Chris makes a show of getting out his latest iPhone. The other 2 boys get out their Samsung's older devices. Train pulls into Finchley Road. Natalie stands up, quietly says goodbye to her friends. Doesn't look at the boys.
You live in Finchley Road?
Wembley Park, but this is a fast train.
Chris looks at Nick's eyebrow signaling for him to get off too. Nick looks terrified. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way. Natalie's gone. Mandy and Vanessa are talking amongst themselves. Chris turns to the 2 boys.
Have you seen the new update?
They lean in over Chris's new gadget. They've tried. This is fine for now. Exterior Metline train at Harrow on the Hill later. The train pulls into the station. Chris and Nick get ready to get off. The girls aren't moving.
See you, mate.
From the platform, Chris gestures for Toby to get in there with the girls. Toby checks that the girls couldn't see that. Toby's on his own in a near-empty carriage adjacent to the girls.
There's a seat there.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Toby takes a seat across the aisle from Mandy and Vanessa. He smiles across from them, but it's a very big smile for the circumstances. Mandy tries hard to suppress a snigger. Vanessa doesn't worry too much about suppressing it. Toby's face goes a color that complements the sunset behind him. He starts looking through his bag for no good reason. Exterior Metline train at Pinner Station moments later. Toby gets up to get off at his station. The girls do the same. Yikes. They stand together, but not together, as the doors open and all step off the train. They start towards the stairs, the girls slightly in front of Toby. Then Toby vanishes. As we see the girls start up the stairs, from a distance we can see Toby crouched down, pretending to do his shoelace up. Other disembarking passengers pass him. He stands up, looks across the platform to the exit. All clear, they're gone, he can go. Interior Toby and Jen's living room, evening. Toby and Jen at their ends of the sofa, a comedy on TV. Jen is more focused on her phone, a lot of typing and private smiles. On the show, a swell of studio audience laughter. Toby smiles. He looks across at Jen, but she's missed the joke, engrossed. Interior classroom, Monday morning. Boys are getting ready for the start of a new week. Sorting through his books, Toby looks up surprised as Chris comes across to his desk. This doesn't happen in school hours.
So what happened when I got off?
Nothing.
Did you speak to them?
Not really.
You didn't? You blew your chance, man.
They asked me to sit down.
Really? Nice. And did you?
Chris sits on the edge of Toby's desk, keen to hear more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Next to them.
Across.
Sick. Could you see up those skirts?
What?
Messing with you. Good work. We'll have to be ready for the next time.
Toby nods.
My dad's new place is sweet. Massive TV. The Wi-Fi is like ultra fast. I'm gonna have to stay there as much as I can. Have a party. Get the girls round.
Yeah. Sick.
The 2 boys see Nick bustle into class, heading to his seat next to Toby.
We need to make sure Dubois doesn't talk about being Christian too.
As Nick comes into earshot and takes his seat, Chris stands to leave, giving Nick a big pat on the back and squeezing his shoulders as he goes.
All right, mate.
Nick looks at Toby, confused by the attention. Interior Metline train in transit, afternoon. Nick and Toby are sitting on a Metline train as it waits at Baker Street.
We're getting later and later every day, further away from the 1609.
Maybe it can't be done. Maybe we don't need to rush.
You can't say that. We nearly did it when we weren't even trying. That Friday was close enough to touch the doors.
No.
And doesn't your mum worry if you're running late?
I can manage it.
School auditions start this week, so we're not going to have as many chances either. But it's okay. We can overcome whatever obstacles are put in front of us with persistence.
Toby isn't really listening. The girls are getting on the train. With Vanessa at the front, they weave between the people in the seats, moving down the carriage towards them.
Hi, Nicholas. Hello, Toby.
Hi, boys.
Hello.
Toby barely moves. The girls keep walking, taking seats just beyond the next doorway.
Thank goodness they didn't stop. Last thing we need right now.
Toby watches the girls down the carriage, who don't look back. He unconsciously mouths hi there as he looks and thinks.
Girls never stop talking. When my sister has friends around, you can hardly hear yourself think. Sometimes she sulks through. It's nice and quiet then.
Maybe Natalie want to talk to you at Wembley.
She'd better not. I've got to get home from athletics.
Interior-exterior Met line train later. Toby's on his own now. Mandy's on her own, too, sitting about 15 meters away. His eyes keep drifting up from the game he's playing on his phone to look over. She's engrossed in her phone. Toby doesn't notice, but once or twice when the game is distracting him, she's looking his way sometimes, too. Interior-exterior Met line train moments later. The train is closing in on Toby's stop. With a deep breath, he picks up his bag and walks towards the doors next to Mandy. He drops his bag on the floor, looks out the side of his eye. Nothing. He reaches for his phone. Interior-exterior Met line train moments later. Toby is playing his game as the train pulls into Pinner. Then there's a presence at his shoulder.
Astro Clash. What level are you on?
Yikes.
8. You?
Same.
I got to level 9 once, but couldn't stay in it.
Have you knocked the Hobgoblin Horde?
No.
That really helps defensively.
You've got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
The doors open. Side by side, they cross the bridge to the exit, not saying anything. They tap through the barriers simultaneously.
Bye.
Bye.
Toby had a huge grin on his face as he watches her head out to the car park. He walks down the hill from the station, the faintest trace of a skip in his step. Then he stops dead. Did he just mess that up? Interior Jen and Toby's kitchen diner evening. The dining room table is covered in a mountain of laundry. Toby and Jen are folding and sorting it.
So Clare will be coming around to look after you tomorrow night, but it'll be after dinner.
I'm virtually 13. I think I could look after myself.
Tell that to social services when they whisk you into care.
Is it another work thing?
I said to Pete I'd meet him for a drink, but it's school night, so I'll be just a quick one, and I'll be back early.
Who's Pete?
You know, the person I went to the movies with on the weekend.
Oh, I didn't know his name was Pete.
Of course you did, I told you.
She knows full well she didn't.
That's fine.
I'll have my phone on.
Is he your boyfriend?
No, he's just a friend. I've only met him a couple of times.
A couple of times.
There it is again. Sure, I must have told you.
Lunch at work, just to introduce ourselves. I couldn't go out to the cinema with just anyone. What if he wanted to see a weepy romantic film?
Ugh.
I know.
Continue sorting laundry.
That socks inside out.
I'll do it when I put them on.
You'll forget and look like a wastrel.
Right.
He unbundles the pair, flicks the argyle the right way around.
You know, though, at some point, I might get a boyfriend.
Yeah, that'll be okay. But you're still too busy for that now, aren't you? With the practice getting bigger and keeping this place going and everything.
Keeping the place going is a challenge.
I do more, but, you know, studies.
Do you ever miss having a family that's a bit more like everyone else's? Not having a dad around?
I like things how they are.
Jen folds Toby's 2 small pajamas.
So do I.
And then she folds another set of pajamas. And another. She notices, but doesn't comment.
Of course, in a year or 2, or 2 years, you'll be all about looking for girlfriends.
Mum?
It'll happen, there's no rush.
They keep folding.
No one on the horizon at the minute?
At O'Malley's?
Well, you're not there 24/7, but if there was, that would be okay, you know.
No, I know. And no.
Well, okay.
Toby thinks about it. He could say something.
Of course, whoever it is, we're going to have to be checked out for me. Make sure they're good enough for my Toby Mori.
Nope, not mentioning anything now.
Oh, please, no.
Toby is slightly gingerly folding and stacking Jen's large, tatty black knickers. Then there's one pair, sky blue, smaller, prettier. He recognizes the difference but doesn't want to think about it.
Are girls very different from boys?
No, not really. Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that can make life more complicated for girls. But then boys can have a lot going on too. I mean, I don't know. Society. Why?
No reason. Just wondering.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just enjoy being a kid while you can. Life gets complicated soon enough.
You know what makes this kid really happy?
She does, his Xbox.
Half an hour, but then homework.
Thanks, Mum.
Toby dashes off, Jen keeps folding laundry. How many pairs of old pajamas does this boy have? Interior Toby's bedroom later. Toby's at his desk in his room. He should be doing homework, but he's playing something else out in his head. Leaning up on his desk is one of Jen's women's magazines, open on a full-page makeup ad headshot.
Chris? Oh, no, he's alright. Yes, I suppose he's cocky, but when you get to know him... now, you'll make me blush. Well, you're one excellent player too. Well, you know, I think you're amazing too. Would you mind if I...
He picks the magazine from the desk, brings it towards his face. Closer, he closes his eyes as his lips gently touch the high-gloss lips on the page. Interior-exterior Mentline train at Baker Street afternoon. The three boys are waiting on the platform, trying not to look like they're waiting. The girls see them as they come up the stairs and head up onto the train as usual. The boys follow.
All right.
Hi. Hi, Nicholas. Hi, Toby.
You don't remember my name?
Escapes me for a minute. It's not that you have a forgettable face or anything. Anyway, do you remember ours?
Yeah. Natalie, then Mandy. Natalie, Mandy, Vanessa.
Toby leans into Chris, not getting the joke.
Vanessa, Natalie, Mandy.
Toby's nice. He remembers properly.
How long can you go without touching the handrails?
I don't know. Longer than you?
How about you?
Never tried. You've got better things to do.
Chris takes a surfing stance.
Who wants to try and beat me?
With an exaggerated sigh, Mandy puts down her bag and stands in the middle of the carriage.
Come on, then.
The two stand off as the train veers. The train jars and slows suddenly. Mandy, caught off balance, falls onto Chris. She jumps back amid a lot of giggling from her friends. The boys cheer Chris's win.
Bad luck, Mandy.
All right, then. But can you do this?
Vanessa reaches both hands up to the horizontal rail and pulls off a gymnastics swing, kicking the opposite handrail, appearing to almost levitate. Everybody cheers and claps, although Nick is looking around nervously because of the racket. Chris gives it a go. He tries a swing jump, but his hands slip and he falls.
It's a technique. You just need to figure it out.
Why did you ever try, Toby?
He actually blushes and looks down.
No thanks. Not very sporty, really.
He can't. He's got a hamstring problem.
What about you, Nicholas?
There's a little bit of repressed giggling from the girls at the idea, but really, he's not that overweight.
I think we might be disturbing other people in the carriage.
All right then. At Finchley Road, we have a race. You've got to get off and see how far down the train you can get before you have to get back on the train again.
You're on.
The train slows. Chris and Vanessa line up. The doors open and they're off. The four others lean out the open doors to watch. The two kids weave around people and obstacles, neck and neck. The doors start beeping, closing any second. Sprinting, Chris reaches the next set of doors and jumps on, but Vanessa keeps going. With the doors virtually shut, she smashes her elbow into one side and wedges herself half in, half out. There's some concerned tutting from other passengers as she tries to wriggle through. Then the doors beep briefly and open again, and dusting herself down, she walks to Chris. Down the train, Mandy and Natalie are whooping and clapping.
To the kids messing with the doors at stations, any more trouble and I'll radio ahead and have you removed from the service.
Everyone looks shocked and amused at the telling off, except Nick, who just looks nervous.
You won.
They had to open the doors again. It doesn't count.
Why did you get back on? Wasn't that your stop?
Forgot my bag.
Interior-exterior Metline train, Wembley Park, later. The six kids are chatting away as the train pulls into the station. Chris is talking to the girls. Toby is trying to join in while Nick tries to nab him to talk about something else. The doors open, and Natalie and Vanessa and Nick pick up their bags to get off.
Bye, boys. I'll speak to you later.
As the two girls saunter onto the platform, Nick is off, speed-walking to the stairs. Following behind, the girls watch him go. Vanessa gets a laugh with a little speed march of her own. Mandy is now leaning against the wall by the doors, Toby and Chris standing around her. Chris is swinging slightly on a handrail, moving closer in and out of her personal space.
Does Natalie ever talk?
She does. She's just quiet and choosy.
Why do you all wear kilts? Are you all Scottish?
It's not tartan, it's a plaid.
Is your name McMandy? Do you have country dancing all the time?
I think it's a very smart uniform.
Thank you, Nick.
The boys register the shocking error, one with horror, one with delight. Then Mandy realizes.
Oh, burn! That's Toby, and after he knew all your names.
She's in a hole here.
I know it's Toby. It was a slip of the tongue. I remember Toby because he's always very polite and kind.
She thinks you look like Dupois. That is cold.
Toby is silent but mortified. Train pulls into Norfolk Park.
Right, love you and leave you. Bye, Nicholas. Bye, what's-her-face.
Bye, slug features.
With a smirk, Chris is gone.
Sorry, I know you're Toby, really.
It's fine. Fine.
What's your astro name?
Mandy has her phone out, looks at Toby expectantly.
It's Blinky Pup 52. It was auto-generated.
I see. But didn't you change it? I've sent you an alliance request.
Toby opens the Astroclash app, checks his notifications.
Princess Rainbow Dolphin.
I picked it myself when I was 11. 10. No, I was 9. Or 10. I'll send you a reward card now.
Oh wow, sick. Thanks.
You're welcome, Blinky.
The two return to their game. Interior Tony's bedroom later. In bed, Tony's breaking all the rules and is on his phone with Astroclash open. He's looking a little tortured as he thinks about something. On the screen is a card game, the Elven Queen. She looks tough, and according to the screen is an ultra-rare legendary. Toby taps the screen, a notification box pops up. Send to Ally, Princess Rainbow Dolphin? Is this a good idea? It's a good card. Is he ready to send this kind of message? Toby sends it. As he sits there, uncertain as to whether that was a good idea, he gets a reply. Awesome, thanks. Then there's a kiss emoji. A kiss emoji! Toby can't stop staring. Interior Mini Mart day. Toby is carrying a basket while trailing behind Jen, picking up a few things for dinner.
Oh yeah, and so I'm going to go for dinner with Pete on Friday. Claire's working, so it's going to be cheerful Lane from next door looking after you.
Can I just come with you?
And without thinking, laughs, catches herself, but too late.
I'm sorry, Tobes. I don't think so, no.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
I mean, I would. It's lovely of you to think of that, but
Just being silly.
it's a dinner party, and there's going to be other adults there.
It's fine. I was joking.
It'll probably be quite boring.
It's fine.
Not going to be like all-you-can-eat night at the Ribs and Wings place.
Just thinking I'd save money on a lane.
We should go there soon, though. At the Wings place, we could invite Pete if you like.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool.
She feels terrible. She really shouldn't have laughed.
Why don't you go and grab some Doritos? A big bag.
Interior Toby and Jen's living room night. Toby is in front of the TV with Elaine, the babysitter from 2 doors down. She's texting incessantly on her phone, while the trashiest of reality TV shows plays on the TV.
Could I play Xbox?
Your mum said you weren't allowed to after 9?
Could I watch Comedy Central?
Sorry, I'm watching this.
Elaine goes back to texting. Toby just sits there.
Okay. I think I might just go to bed.
Okay. Night.
Interior Toby's bedroom later. Toby's in bed playing Astroclash on his phone. He checks the time, 9:32. A little later, Toby's lying with his head at the foot of the bed playing with the Rubik's Cube. It's 10:45. Later again, lights still on. Toby wakes up as his Guinness Book of Records hits the floor. 12:14. He sneaks out of bed, quietly opens his door. Sneaking to the landing, he can hear crappy TV blaring and Elaine's coat on the banister. He goes back to bed. Interior Toby's room, morning. Later again, Toby wakes up. His light's still on, but there's sunshine coming through the curtains too. It's 8:05. Hearing what sounds like the front door, he gets up and heads to the landing. As he gets to the top of the stairs, he can hear murmured voices. Looking down, he sees his mum in a short dressing gown and a man, Pete, mid-30s, kissing. Toby needs to get away as fast as he can without making a sound, suddenly conscious of every possible creaking floorboard. He climbs back into bed, switches off the bedside light, and buries his head under his pillow. Interior Toby's room, Saturday morning. Jen, in the same dressing gown as earlier, but with PJs now clearly underneath, glides into Toby's room holding a bacon sandwich.
Morning, lazy bones.
Toby emerges from under the covers, a little disconcerted by breakfast in bed and his mom's particularly perky mood.
How are you this morning?
Okay.
Good.
Jen hands over the sandwich and sits down on the bed next to Toby. He edges away towards the far side of his mattress.
And how is Elaine?
She wanted to watch the reality channel all night.
Oh no. Well, you need to have a think about what we can do tonight, the two of us.
Toby shrugs.
How about we rent a movie? A good action one.
Another shrug, but an agreeable one. He looks at his mom and then the sandwich she's holding.
Is there any catch-up?
Interior Jen and Toby living room evening. Toby and Jen, both in PJs, are watching a superhero movie, but it's a grittier 15 certificate one. There are sounds of explosions, shots, punches, slashing knives, sticky crunches as bones are broken. Jen and Toby flinch, but there's a wide-eyed wonder in his expression, while Jen looks a little grossed out. After a crescendo of action and thumping beats and one final curdling scream, the fight sequence is over.
He's going to need a lot of vodka.
That was so cool.
The film's moved on, and from the soundtrack we can tell things have changed in a sexy way. The damaged superhero is receiving first aid from a one-dimensional female character whose interests are not entirely medical.
This might sting a little.
That's what I said when I took down the Scorpion.
Do you have to be the hero all the time?
I'm not sure that I have a choice.
The slowed-down, sexy hip-hop beat of the soundtrack gets more obvious. Toby begins to look nervous, Jen at this stage more ready to scoff.
I want to know the man behind the mask.
He died a long time ago.
The clearer it gets where this is going, the more panicky Toby is getting.
I want to know what's underneath that suit. Don't you want to know what's beneath?
There's the sound of a zip coming down, a dress dropping to the floor. Panic stations! Blushing furiously, Toby grabs the remote and tries to stop the movie.
Okay, I'm feeling quite tired. I think I'll go to bed now.
We can fast forward the scary bits.
Picture is frozen on a starlet in impractical lingerie. Stabbing at buttons, he hits slow rewind. Clothes start rising up again. Hits remote again. It starts playing again.
What's beneath?
This isn't suitable. I'm going to bed.
Jen can't help but laugh at the panicked reaction of her son to the tacky scene, who isn't finding it funny.
Just shut your eyes. Give me the remote.
He angrily throws the remote and is up on his feet in a crouch.
Toes!
He heads for the door, but slightly doubled over with folded arms, trying to hide something.
Shut up!
Toby,
The door slams. Interior Toby's bedroom a little later.
you didn't come down again to say goodnight.
I was too tired.
Pretty bad movie, huh?
It was okay.
Bit embarrassing watching it with your uncool mother. Are you okay?
Yeah.
She smooths down his duvet, brushes a hand over his head, and gives him a kiss as she gets up to leave.
Seem tight.
The room gets darker as she closes the door, but leaves it open enough for a sliver of light. We can't really see Toby in the dark, but his hand quickly moves to wipe his eyes, and he buries himself deeper under the covers. Interior Jen and Toby's upstairs, morning. It's another trip to the laundry basket for a bleary-eyed Toby. Couple of items lifted up, pajama bottoms tucked in. Interior exterior school bus. Toby and Nick are sitting together on the bus back from the school sports field. The PE teacher stands at the front of the bus.
Anyone for Hammersmith?
The bus pulls into a bus lane by the tube station, and a group of boys, including Toby, Nick with his trumpet, and Chris and Nick's various nemesis behind them, get off. As they head through the underground station concourse and approach the ticket gates, that lanky kid snatches Nick's trumpet case.
Hey,
With people milling around, Nick turns to take it back. Fainting one way, then the other, the lanky kid offloads the case to Chris. Nick, like a charging bull, changes direction. Chris throws it to Toby. Toby catches it. Now what? Nick rushes towards him, but assumes the problem's past now. Before he can get there, the lanky kid grabs it back from Toby, who doesn't resist. Lanky tosses it over Nick's head back to Chris. Chris misses it. The case hits the ground, smashes open. The trumpet skitters across the polished concrete floor.
no.
Nick scrambles to gather his instrument in. The mouthpiece circles away as he tries to pick it up. Toby waits helplessly with him, but the other boys move on.
It's got a dent. My mom is going to kill me.
It's just a bit of a scratch. I think it'll rub off.
It's a dent, bastards.
I think it will be okay.
By the gates, Chris shouts back.
Matthews, Dubois, I'm getting the Met today.
We're not going anywhere with those boys today.
We've got to get home.
No.
Toby's edging towards the gates, checking his watch.
The time.
Matthews.
Come on, he'll be alright.
Nick looks Toby in the eye.
I'm going the other way.
He starts walking. Toby doesn't follow.
That's towards the Piccadilly. We want Hammersmith and City.
Nick doesn't look back, but shouts over his shoulder.
Green Park for the Jubilee. Through to Wembley Park.
But
But that route's slow, and even if it wasn't, there's no chance they'd bump into. Toby thinks for a second. He sees Chris and the other lads disappearing down an escalator. Nick striding off, teary and furious the other way. He physically sways in both directions. Then he heads for the escalator. Interior, Hammersmith and City Line train moments later.
how come you're coming this way on a Wednesday?
My mum's going away for a few days with some wanker.
Anywhere nice?
Chris's shrug suggests he doesn't give a shit.
Does your mum have a boyfriend or anything?
No. No, that's not really her sort of thing.
Lesbian, is she?
No, I just meant At the minute, it's not a priority.
Not a priority. You sound like Dubois.
Does your mum's boyfriend stay over?
Yeah.
Is that a bit...
What? As long as they stay out of my way, I don't care. I've got a PS4 in my room, so now it's happy days.
I've got to keep all computers in family space.
Date your mum or boyfriend, you can do what you like.
You don't mind?
What am I, a baby? Boo-hoo, Mumsy doesn't want to play with me anymore. They keep out of my hair, make me lunches.
He shrugs.
I tell you though, it's better than it was before my dad saw the light and moved out. Screaming and yelling all the time. One in, one out, nobody making dinner.
Didn't they come into the school together a while ago to see the head?
That was a different thing. That was just McFarlane trying to be... It was a different thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and the other good thing is, the cash just comes rolling in.
Exterior Baker Street alternative approach to platforms 3 and 4. Toby and Chris charge down a flight of stairs to the platform just as a train leaves. Toby checks the time.
Missed them.
Fuck it.
Chris kicks an advertising hoarding hard, alarming Toby, but he appears calm after that. They head for the platform kiosk. Interior Metline train, moments later. Waiting on the next train with the view of the stairs, Chris is having a Coke and crisps. Toby is eating a Snickers.
So do you know any more about their school or anything?
No.
Were they talking about the train challenge?
No.
The thing is, because men have more dense muscle, it's actually more difficult to pull yourself up and swing like that one did.
Vanessa.
Yeah, and I could have beaten her to those doors if I'd known she was going to try.
Toby nods to himself thoughtfully.
But that Mandy is fit.
Toby says nothing.
I mean fit.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
The third one though, she'd probably be alright for Dubois.
Natalie?
Bit of a dog.
Chris puts his empty wrappers on the ledge behind him, reaches for his phone.
Here, look at this.
Toby's nervous about what Chris might have on his phone.
There's people in the carriage. Old ladies.
They can't see it.
Now Toby's really worried.
Signal's very bad. Can't get data.
Chris isn't stopping.
Is the sound down?
Look.
After scanning the horizon again, Toby leans across to check Chris's screen. It's not as bad as he feared. Not porn, but a glamour shot of a social media starlet. Naked, but strategically covered, looking straight down the camera lens.
What do you think of that?
Nice.
She's my perfect woman.
Right.
On her Instagram, she's always posting selfies with nothing on. And she has this really cool pet bulldog.
Oh?
Did you see her eyes?
Yeah.
Stunning.
Toby nods.
I think Mandy's eyes are a bit like that.
Toby does not like that idea.
I don't know. Not sure the colour's right.
You see her most of these days now?
Depends. You know, Dubois got lots of after-school activities and, you know, the trains.
But you talk to her.
Well, we chat sometimes. You know, last week...
Do you think she'd go out with me?
What?
Would you ask her if she'd go out with me?
Shouldn't you do that?
I don't know if she's definitely interested.
But
You should ask her about Vanessa for you.
I haven't really thought about...
You could say we'll all go, together.
I'm not sure if she's dating at this stage.
You could ask her though, for me. Won't be embarrassing if she blanks you.
Right.
So you'll do it, yeah? Good man.
Interior, Jen and Toby's living room night. Toby and Jen are on the sofa eating dinner. On the coffee table next to them, one of their phones buzzes. They both look across expectantly. Toby slides off the sofa and grabs his phone. It's a spammy notification of an Asteroid Clash in-apps purchase special offer. He dismisses it. That anything?
It's private. Why? Were you expecting something?
Toby pulls himself back up onto the sofa, but as far away from Jen as he can manage. She's a little confused, but is letting it go. Interior Metline train morning. On a busy commuter train, Toby is heading into school. The train pulls into Wembley Park. He looks up and sees Nick get on. Nick sees him, but heads in the opposite direction to stand at the next set of doors. Toby grabs his bag and squeezes through passengers to catch up with his friend.
Hi.
Nick doesn't say anything.
How's your trumpet?
Fortunately, it was largely superficial damage that has been buffed out. The tone hasn't been compromised.
Phew, that's good news. The lads were getting a bit out of hand.
Being told to steer clear of the troublemakers
That's a good idea.
and their cronies and sidekicks.
That stings a bit.
I need to revise my French vocab.
Nick puts his head in the book. As the train reaches Finchley Road, their connecting train is on the other platform.
Jubilee's there.
Not looking up, Nick just shakes his head. Toby swings into a vacated seat next to Nick. As the doors close, Nick hops off the train without Toby. Toby looks up startled. Nick gives him a stiff flick of the V's as the train pulls off. Interior Metline train, afternoon. Toby is very consciously reading a school curriculum novel. At the edge of his vision are the girls. He's not going down there outnumbered. He takes out his phone, checks the time. 16:44 already. He opens messages, taps in home, sends to Mum, and gets an emoji back, which he deletes. Interior Metline train a little later. The train is leaving Wembley Park. After looking up briefly to watch the platform pass, Toby returns to his book.
Thanks for the warrior card.
Mandy casually plunks herself down next to Toby. He wasn't expecting an ambush.
That's okay.
They're impossible to get.
It wasn't really suited for my deck.
On your own today.
Yeah.
Think of something.
Yeah.
Silence.
So, how was your day?
Good. Good. Not much homework.
Come on now, Toby, this shouldn't be hard.
And how was yours?
Ugh, horrible. All my teachers are bitches, and most of them smell funny.
Toby laughs, forgets to be nervous.
We have this one guy, Mr. Jenkins. If you get in trouble, he'll lift you up by the hairs of your ears.
That's child abuse.
I know! Nobody minds, though. It saves a detention. It's never happened to me.
I'd create a petition.
Toby nods thoughtfully.
My brother's so jammy, he goes to the academy and they call all the teachers by their first names.
That's a bit weird.
I know. Do you have brothers or sisters?
Just me and my mum.
Your dad isn't dead, is he?
No, he's overseas. We don't really...
Oh my god, what if he had been dead? How tactless. Must be difficult, though.
It's okay. It's always been like this.
Maybe one day he'll show up and he'll be rich and married to a movie star.
A billionaire games developer.
Imagine.
He works at a renewable energy consultant at the minute, I think.
Is it your dad who's... or is your mum...
What?
Nothing. Forget what I was saying, anyway. You have an interesting life and lovely skin tones.
Toby's not sure if that's a compliment or one of those bits of sarcasm he misses from time to time. Exterior, outside Pinner Station, later. The kids are walking down the hill to the main road. Still together, still awkward.
So...
So,
Do you have a boyfriend?
no, do you?
No, I'm not... Or did you mean a girlfriend? Anyway, Chris was wondering if you'd like to go out with him.
Mandy wasn't expecting that, but does that necessarily mean it's a bad thing?
If he wants to ask me out, he should ask himself.
But you would?
No comment.
There's a silence. They reach the bottom of the hill.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
No hanging about, they go their separate ways. We can see Mandy reach for her phone as she walks away while Toby's face and whole body scrunches up in regret as a train rumbles over the bridge overhead. Interior school lunch hall. Lunchtime? Toby is sitting by himself in the hall, eating a dull but healthy packed lunch. A school bag crashes down on the table. Chris opens it and pulls out his lunch. Crisps, biscuits, a Nutella sandwich.
Hi.
Fucking hell, Matthews.
Chris's anger gets Toby nervous, although he doesn't think it's aimed at him.
Won't be coming home with you guys tonight. Probably never again.
How come?
My mum's being a prick and my dad's acting like a bitch.
Oh?
Chris angrily chomps through his lunch as he continues.
And now Florida looks like it's not going to happen, because all the money's going to lawyers.
You were going to Florida?
Universal Studios.
Toby shakes his head in sympathy.
Would your dad ever get pissed off with your mum having a boyfriend?
My mum... We're not really in touch with my dad overseas.
Just because my dad got dumped by his girlfriend, they've started rowing again. I'm being cock-blocked.
That's fucking shit.
I'm telling you, school nights I'm not allowed to go to dad's. Will you tell Mandy for me? Give her my Insta.
Toby takes a deep breath.
I did actually ask her about you.
Serious? Good man. What did she say?
Well,
Don't give me the bad news, man. I'm not in the mood for it.
I don't think she's quite ready for a relationship.
She said that.
Sorry, mate.
Fuck it. Maybe it's for the best if she's frigid.
Carriage is quite warm.
What?
Nothing. You're probably right.
Chris shoves the scraps of his lunch back in his bag and gets up to leave.
Thanks anyway, mate.
No problem.
As Chris goes, Toby breathes out relieved. But there's a slightly sly little smile there, too. Toby's room, night. Pen in hand, Toby's doing his homework again. Or, rather, staring at himself in the mirror again.
So, Chris was wondering if you'd like to go out with him. Yeah, I know. I said he should ask himself, but I noticed you smiled when I asked if you were seeing somebody.
Not entirely deliberately, Toby has spun the pen between his fingers and it looks like he's holding a cigarette.
Oh, really? Well, you know, I didn't think I'd... I mean, you could go out with anyone. You think I should? Well, I know I might.
There's a knock.
Dinner's in 2 minutes.
In a flap, he slaps the pen down on the desk, scrambles to pick up a book and look busy, even though the door doesn't open and Judd is gone. Exterior Baker Street platforms 3 and 4. Day. Toby sitting on a train, playing on his phone, checking the time and watching the stairs. A train pulls in on platform 3.
Next train to depart is on platform 3. All stations to Watford on platform 3.
Toby watches it but lets it go. Time passes. Toby remains alert.
Train on platform 4 is ready to depart. Semi-fast Amersham, platform 4. Mind the doors.
Toby jumps up and skips off. Another train comes into platform 3. As it passes him, he sees a blur of red in a front carriage. Was that them? He gets on the train, starts to walk down to the front. As he does, a couple of older ladies in red step off the train ahead of him. Not the redcoats he thought it was. He keeps checking anyway, and the train gets quieter. Then there's a voice behind him.
Harry Potter.
Yo, Harry Potter.
2 rough-looking hoodlums, about 14, tracksuit hoods up, shuffle into Toby's personal space as he stops to see who is calling out.
Nice uniform, Harry. Got your time.
Sorry, no watch.
Toby waves his arm about.
About your phone?
Don't have one?
You lying to us?
No.
Don't lie to us.
We're just blinging all the time, bro.
We're not going to rob you, Harry.
Sorry, no.
What's that? Your coat, Harry?
Nothing. It's nothing.
The short lad stretches across his hand into Toby's blazer. Toby, shocked, grabs the hand and the phone it's reaching for. He looks to the taller kid who just stares back.
Let us see your phone, Harry.
No!
It's not a fight, but the short lad is trying to get Toby's phone, and Toby won't let his hand go. The short lad swings his free fist at Toby's head. It hurts, but it doesn't change anything. Toby won't let go.
He'll stab you.
Toby watches the short lad reach into his tracksuit pocket. That's it. He's letting go. The kid takes his phone.
Shouldn't have lied to us, Harry.
They walk off down the carriage. Toby stands there. Interior, Jen and Toby's living room later. Jen is pacing as Toby sits, still in his uniform, considering the fallout of what's just happened.
Why are you so late? What were you doing by yourself?
Nick has scholar and stuff.
You're supposed to stay on busy carriages and you're responsible for clean grown-ups.
It's just...
We're going to have to look at closer schools. You're too young to be travelling on your own.
What? No way!
It's ridiculous someone your age travelling that far alone. I should never allowed it.
But my friends,
You can keep in touch and make new ones.
the quality of education...
Your safety comes first.
I don't want to.
We'll have to look into it.
That's not fair. I don't want to move.
Toby starts crying. Jen gives him a big hug.
We don't need to do anything drastic now. We'll have a think, okay?
Okay.
Are you alright?
Yeah. Okay.
What were you doing at Baker Street? It's safer at Finchley Road.
It's faster at Baker Street. You can find the train quicker.
Were you very scared?
It was okay, really. Will I get a new phone?
We'll have to see. Might need to be a reconditioned one.
Probably still better than the one I lost.
You almost sound happy to get mugged.
The guys won't believe it.
Jen stops, realizing something.
If they stole your phone, how are you able to text to say you were home?
What?
You sent me the text, look.
Uh-oh.
We got held behind. It wasn't me, it was the whole class. I didn't want to worry you.
Is this something you do a lot?
No.
Messing around on the trains, pretending to be home?
No. Sometimes...
You know I hate lying, Toby.
But I just told you.
Is there anything else you need to be telling me?
No!
How do I know?
That's nothing.
There's going to have to be consequences.
But
You can forget that new phone for a start.
But I won't be able to call you.
You can use the landlines and call the office as soon as you get in.
But I won't have Astro.
You won't have any games for a week.
But...
I wouldn't argue with me right now. Every day I check that route. Every day I'm waiting for breaking news. It's something.
I'm sorry, Mum.
I hate lying, Toby. I won't have it.
I'm sorry.
Go to your room.
As he gets up to go, he tries to give her a hug. She tenses and puts an arm in the way. He trudges away. Exterior, school playground, day.
Matthews, heard you got mugged on the train. Is that true?
Yeah, at Baker Street. I was outnumbered.
Were they black?
I don't see why that's...
Were they though?
I'm not going to say.
So they were. If someone tried to get my phone, 2 guys, I'd sweep the leg of one near the edge, make them fall on the tracks, the other one would run away. One of the tracks would be shitting himself.
Nick joins them.
I heard you got mugged at Baker Street.
Yeah, there were two of them.
Your mum phoned my mum.
Oh?
Not allowed to go to Baker Street anymore.
Oh.
Nick walks off. Interior Jubilee Line train, day. Toby standing by the doors of a moving train, swaying to see what other people are looking at on their phones. The train pulls into Baker Street. He moves to get off, pauses, thinks better of it, and swings into a free seat. Interior Toby and Jen's hallway, day. Toby comes through the front door, dumps his bag. He picks up the landline.
Hi, can I speak to Jen, please? It's her son. Hi, just got in. Yeah. Okay, bye. Oh, Mum, what's for dinner? Okay, bye.
He puts the phone down, heads for the Xbox, remembers he's banned, sighs. But screw this, he's going to play anyway. He defiantly switches on the console, grabs the controller. In the few seconds it takes for his game to load, he must check the clock and look out the front window a dozen times. Interior Jen and Toby's house, early evening. In the kitchen, Jen is handing a tenner over to Toby, who's looking at a short shopping list.
Do I have to get all of this?
If you want to have dinner, yes.
But it's not all dinner related.
You're right. We don't need the biscuits. You can forget that.
She hustles him out to the door, handing him a bag for life. As they reach the door, he plays the kid card.
But it's dark out there. I'm not sure the streetlights are working.
Good point.
She hands him a high-vis vest he has to put on over his coat.
Now don't dawdle.
Toby is virtually manhandled out onto the street. He adjusts his luminous vest and trudges towards the shop. Interior corner shop a little later. Toby didn't get a basket. He's got an armful of groceries and is standing shiftily in the personal hygiene section. He takes a side glance at the condoms, but then returns to his list. Checking both ways, he picks up a box of tampons. He adjusts the stuff he's carrying so the tampons are partially hidden by a bag of pasta. Then as he turns to the checkout, he gets a glance of somebody. Mandy! He can't let her see him surrounded by sanitary products. He turns away quickly, but the sudden movement, he loses control of the pile of groceries. The pasta slips, he tries to catch it, but everything drops in the process. Clattering of tin, tomatoes, a pepper rolls away. She notices that.
Hi.
Hi.
Let me give you a hand.
She crouches down to help pick up the dropped items.
Thanks.
She hands him the tampons, looking pretty embarrassed herself.
Just getting things for dinner.
They stand across from each other, Mandy in a winter coat, Toby very conscious of his high visibility.
I requested some troops. You didn't answer.
Sorry, I've not been able to play. I lost my phone.
Lost it?
Well, actually, it was stolen. I was mugged.
No way.
It was on the Met line.
Really?
There were two of them. I got punched in the head. One of them had a knife.
Oh my god, you must have been terrified.
There was nothing I could do. You've got to assess the situation, especially if there's weapons involved.
Weapons?
Well, just a knife, maybe.
Oh my god. And do you think that it was racially motivated, this attack?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know I'd even exist without my phone.
I'm hoping to get a new one soon. Insurance, I think.
There's an awkward silence as Toby packs and pays for his shopping.
I can't believe you've caught me in my work uniform.
Oh, I hadn't realised.
I would not wear a polyester cream blouse any other time.
You're wearing a coat.
Oh, yeah.
Mandy buys a box of tea bags. Toby's still got nothing.
It's a late night sale in my parents' shop. Child labour.
What shop is it?
Milford's. Old lady shoes.
I got my shoes there when I was a little kid.
Do you remember the big bear seat for fittings?
Yeah.
We've still got it.
Cool.
Isn't it weird the things you loved as a kid? It looks pretty lame, really.
Outside the corner shop, Toby looks like he's building up to something, but it's taking a while.
Okay, better get back to work.
And the bear chair.
And the bear chair.
Okay.
Okay.
Mandy starts walking away.
Do you have Instagram?
Yeah, but my mum monitors it. Do you?
No. I was just wondering.
Mandy starts to head again.
Have you seen Goonies too?
No, but I like the first one.
Would you like to see it sometime?
I'd say my mum and dad will take me when we're in horror at Pizza Express.
Oh.
Another pause.
And he'd still have to ask me himself.
Oh, no, I didn't think Chris wants to see it. I was going to go.
Did you mean we should go together?
Oh, well, if you'd like to. But if you don't want to, or your mum and dad would be disappointed.
I'm not sure. I might need to ask.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Message me, maybe?
Okay.
He watches her walk away. Then he realizes something.
Oh, but I haven't got it.
Too late. She's out of earshot. Interior Science Lab, day. Toby and Nick have been paired to build a microbalance using straws, bulldog clips, and other bits and pieces. Nick is strictly business, still giving Toby the cold shoulder.
So, I got the 1613 from Baker Street the other day, picked it up from Finchley Road. Not the 09, but it was pretty close. I missed a connection at Bond Street.
Really?
How's Scholar going?
Fine.
And Trumpet?
That just gets a dirty look.
With these early runs on the train, don't see the girls around anymore.
Actually, sometimes they're on the same train as me if Scholar doesn't run on.
Really? Do you talk to them?
I'm too busy reading.
Just I thought they might have mentioned something about the movies.
No.
Just, you see, it's not definite or anything, but I might be going to see Goonies 2 with Mandy on the weekend.
That gives Nick pause.
It's not as good as the original.
The boys return to constructing their microbalance, but Nick's finding it that bit harder not engage.
What does your mom think?
I haven't asked yet.
Nick nods, relieved.
Good luck with that.
Do you think she'll be okay with it?
If she's sensible, she'll tell you to concentrate on your studies.
Interior school library morning. A bag crashes down on Toby's desk. Chris again.
You done the maths?
Yeah.
Let me have a quick look. Want to check a couple things.
Toby hands over an exercise book. Chris starts copying things out of it.
Still seeing the girls?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
I have to get home earlier.
Anything you need to tell me?
Uh-oh.
No.
I was talking to your boyfriend. He sounded jealous.
Toby stares down at the desk.
You betrayed me.
It's just a cinema.
Just the cinema.
Toby won't look up. Chris throws Toby's maths exercise book back at him.
Wanker.
Into a Jubilee line train afternoon. In a fairly empty carriage, Toby is standing by the doors, absently swinging on the handrail as the train rattles through the tunnel. The train pulls into Baker Street. As the doors open, he stares onto the platform and the sign indicating the transfer to the Metropolitan line. He pauses for a moment, then jumps off the train onto the platform. Interior Jen and Toby's kitchen, morning. It's a hectic morning. Jen's ready for work, but on the phone as she tries to get ready to leave the house.
I mean, it's quite the way to start a day. I know, being upfront. No, I understand. I understand, really, it's fine. I mean, it's not as if the situation wasn't as advertised. But sure, whatever. I know. Just, look, don't worry, I understand. You're fine. Don't worry, I'm fine. Okay, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, look, I've got to go. See you around.
Dumped. As Jen stares at a cupboard door, Toby comes down the stairs, half dressed for school.
Mum, can I go to the cinema on Saturday?
Sure, Tobes. But listen, can we talk about it another time? I could just...
It's just I need to arrange details with my friend.
I can speak to Nick's mum later. I just need to get on with the lunches now.
It's not Nick.
Well, whoever, Toby, it's not the timing, okay?
It's a girl.
That stops Jen.
A girl? What girl?
Just someone from the train.
What? No, you're too young. What do you mean someone from the train? No, sorry.
Oh.
Is this why you were getting up in late? Well, why were you lying before?
No, kind of. There's a group of us. I said I'd message her, but I can't because of the phone, so I just need to try to run into her.
Toby, stop it. Enough. I don't want to talk about it now.
But I need...
Shut up! Go get ready.
This isn't what Toby was expecting. He's stunned and helplessly furious. He storms out, failing to slam the door properly. As the door bounces open again, Jen stretches across to slam it shut from her side. She paces the kitchen, pent up. She grabs empty mugs from benches and slams them into the dishwasher, wipes down surfaces, packaging for recycling gets shoved down into the regular bin. She stops moving, picks up the kettle, and fills it. Exterior, interior, Jen and Toby's hallway and street. As Jen heads to the stairs, 2 teas in hand, Toby rushes down them.
Toby?
He doesn't stop or look up, heads straight for the door.
Going to school.
He's gone.
Your lunch, your coat?
Jen looks around for somewhere to put down the teas, can't see one, follows Toby out, still carrying them.
Toby!
He's picking up the pace, she can't catch up.
Toby!
He breaks into a trot and is gone. Interior, exterior, Met Line train, Wembley Park, later. Toby staring dully out the window as the train rolls into Wembley Park. A couple of sets of doors down, Nick gets on, takes out his phone. They're aware of each other, but ignore each other. Interior gym changing rooms, later. Toby's getting dressed after PE. Socks and underpants on, shirt on, trousers missing. He looks around the bench through the clothes of the boys on either side.
Alright guys, who's got my trousers?
A swell of jeers, mum jokes, and gay jokes rolls across the room as Toby stands there helpless. Chris is smirking and knowingly joking with the guy next to him. Nick is just getting on with business. Interior Met Line train, Baker Street, platform 4, later. Toby is sitting on a waiting train, eating a chocolate bar and looking miserable. His trousers look clingy and wet, almost as if they'd been hung up in the showers and then hopelessly wrung out. He sits up as he hears familiar voices and laughter coming down the platform. He slinks down in his seat and hides behind a copy of Metro as the 3 girls walk past his carriage. As the doors beep before closing, Toby jumps off the train. Not today. Exterior, Toby's street. Toby trudges home, the soaked trousers horrible to walk in. There's a car he recognizes in the drive. Interior Jen and Toby's house hallway. A little confused, Toby comes through the front door.
Hello?
Hi, love. I'm in the kitchen.
Interior Jen and Toby's kitchen. Clare is microwaving milk for hot chocolate.
How was school? Your mom spoke to me this morning. She was worried about you, and I had an early shift, so I said I'd be here for you when you got home.
Toby looks embarrassed.
What's happened to your trousers?
They, accidentally got wet in the showers.
You know you're normally supposed to take them off before you get in.
Toby looks more embarrassed.
Here, whip them off. I'll put them through the machine.
Toby starts to head for the stairs.
Leave them here. You'll get the carpet soaking. Just drop them and go. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
He's reluctant to do that.
I'm not gonna have to remind you of changing your nappies, am I?
Toby drops his trousers. At the greatest arm's length possible, he passes them to Clare, then legs it upstairs. Interior Jen and Toby's kitchen. As Clare mixes the drinks, Toby returns in Trekkie bottoms. She passes him his hot chocolate.
Your mom was worried. She wanted to call the school.
A look of horror on Toby's face.
I didn't let her. We just phoned around all the hospitals to check admissions.
If she's so worried, then why isn't she here?
She has work. You're not the only one who depends on her, you know. And it's a good chance for us to talk.
He's not sure he's up for this. Interior Jen and Toby's living room, a little later.
How's Martin getting on with the dogs of war?
Pretty good. I think he just won Vietnam.
Toby nods.
So I hear you've got a date?
She's just a friend, and Mum won't let me.
I remember my first date. Or friend who was a boy. I was 15, and my mom and dad wouldn't let me go. I had to sneak out.
What happened then?
He didn't show up. His mom didn't let him go either.
But that was the old days. There's more equality now.
Well, I've still not seen the Shawshank Redemption.
She's allowed to go out on them.
I wanted to talk about that, actually. I think her and Peter are just going to be friends now.
Oh, okay.
She'll probably be feeling a bit sad at the minute, so we've got to try and support her as best we can.
Do you think they might make up?
Possibly, but I don't think so.
She's not used to having dates, so maybe she just needs to get more practice.
I'd say she's had a fair amount of practice.
When she was younger, she's been raising a family for a long time.
You can do both, you know?
Yeah, but she hasn't.
There can be a lot that happens in the evening after bath time in the CBeebies bedtime story, you know? Remember you used to come over to sleepovers at ours?
You wanted to hang out?
Of course I did. We're a wee angel. But your mom needed a break too.
I don't remember any boyfriends.
You don't go introducing every Tom, Dick, and Harry to your family. Although you do remember Uncle Harry.
Yeah, he used to come around and take us to the park. He always brought me comics.
Claire nods. Pennies slowly begin to drop for Toby.
Oh, I haven't seen him in years. He took us to stay at Legoland once.
Harry was a big deal for a while. Even Marty was very fond of him.
What happened?
You know, sometimes these things just don't quite work out. Sometimes there's a time when it has to get more serious or it has to stop. And your mom decided to stop.
She never tells me any of this.
You were a bit young.
But now, like the Pete stuff, she's not honest.
Do you tell her everything you're up to?
She won't let me do anything if I do. But she does what she wants.
A key crunches in the front door.
Hello, we're in here.
Toby looks nervous. Claire gets up, taps him on the head, and heads to the hall.
How was your day, huh?
From behind the door, Toby can hear the women chatting. It sounds serious. Then there's a quiet laugh and goodbyes. Jen sticks her head around the door.
Claire's gone.
I'm going to do my homework.
Toby exits via the kitchen. Interior Toby's room a little later. Toby's pacing across the room alone.
I'm going to go. You can't stop me.
He pauses, frowning at the answer he's getting in his head.
You can't keep me in the house. That's false imprisonment.
More pacing, more objections.
Actually, you can't. The police won't do anything until the person has been missing for 24 hours.
The mum in his head is not deterred.
Well, you get to go out. It's double standards.
Exterior hallway outside Toby's room. Jen is at the top of the stairs carrying a paper bag, about to knock on Toby's door. She stops when she hears talking.
You're always telling me to make more friends locally. Claire understands. Her mum wouldn't let her grow up either.
As Toby makes his case to imaginary Jen, the real one smiles sadly at first, laughs gently.
I can't even leave the house now. It'd be so embarrassing.
She stretches out to touch the letters of his name on the door.
I should be able to have some privacy. You never even knock. I don't care it's your house. It's my room. I'll clean it up when I'm ready.
Hearing Toby get a little sidetracked, Jen decides to knock on the door. The room goes silent. She knocks again. Interior Toby's room. Mid-pace, Toby freezes.
Come in.
Interior Toby's room, continuous. Jen comes into the room, sits on the bed, taps for Toby to sit next to her. Face to face, the fire's gone out of Toby. He sits down meekly.
I shouldn't have run off like that this morning.
Sorry.
But I shouldn't have reacted like I did either. Too news.
He shrugs.
The shouting was inappropriate.
He nods, getting more confident.
But I still don't like all this running around in secrets.
Okay, so still in trouble. Jen takes a battered old iPhone box out of the paper bag. Is this what he thinks it is?
It's not the version on the box, it's the one before.
Sick. Thanks, Mum.
Thank Claire. She's the one who got an upgrade. After this morning, I thought it was important to be able to get hold of you in case I needed to yell.
What upgrade did Claire get?
Jen gives him a look. He doesn't see. He's setting up the phone.
Now, do we need to have a talk about earlier?
He's still on the phone.
Toby,
He looks up. She slides the phone away.
I'm not very happy that all of this stuff was going on and you didn't tell me about it. Especially after you were assaulted.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
Well, you know, if you're beginning to feel things for girls or whatever, you should be embarrassed about it.
I mean, it's embarrassing telling my mum about it.
That stings a little.
You shouldn't be secretive.
But you never tell me anything.
That's not true.
You never even said you had a boyfriend.
He wasn't really a boyfriend. He was
I don't
just...
want to know.
I'm grown up. I'm entitled to have a life of my own.
I'm growing up.
Toby's back on his phone.
Sorry to hear about Peter.
He's not looking up. Jen's touched.
Oh, was nothing. Few dates. He's getting a bit boring anyway.
Not like Harry then.
Harry,
From before, when I was little.
how did you... No, nothing like Harry. Or your dad. We're talking about old flames.
Toby shifts uncomfortably, plays with his phone.
Do you want to talk about your dad a bit?
Not right now.
So are you going to tell me about this girl?
Nothing. She's just a friend.
A friend you want to go on a date with?
It's not a... Yeah. Kind of.
Well, this is exciting, Toby. I always told you were a great catch. What's her name? What's she like?
Toby shrugs.
Mandy.
Is she pretty? Funny?
She's a gamer.
Well, that's cool.
She smiles a lot.
For some reason, that gets to Jen a bit. She hides it.
So what do we do now?
Check the cinema listings.
We need to work a couple of things out before that, I think. Does she live nearby? What do we know about her family?
They own the old lady shoe shop.
Hey, I go in there sometimes. But that's a good start. Anything else?
She goes left when she heads out of the station.
You know, I'm going to have to speak to them before you can go.
What? No, that's embarrassing.
Hey, I'm letting you go. Those are my terms.
I don't know how to do it.
That new magical box you're staring at works as a phone, too.
I don't have a number.
How do you talk to her?
Private chat and ask her cloche.
That's not private chat. Who else are you talking to on there?
No one else. God. I know the rules. Only people I know in real life.
You're not using other social media, are you?
No, I'm like everyone else in the whole world. And AstroChat, it's not social media.
Send her a message, ask her mum's number.
What? I can't do that.
You can wait till you're 16 then.
But she'll know.
Of course you will. Her parents are going to be wanting the same reassurances. If they aren't, you shouldn't be going.
This is unfair. You wouldn't be doing this if it was a boy from school.
I guess we have to face that with girls, it is different. And you'd be surprised what I know about the boys from your school. Parents talk.
Toby jumps to his feet.
I'm not doing it.
Jen shrugs.
Hi.
Neither moves.
I could write it for you,
I can do it.
or I could change my mind and put the kibosh on the whole idea.
She probably isn't even online.
You can leave a message.
Then I probably wouldn't be online when she answers, so she'll leave a message. Then I'll leave another message, and then we'll never get it sorted. Sending messages until I'm an adult.
He looks at his phone, jumps back slightly.
She's online now.
Jen peers around to look at his phone. He guards it.
It's private.
I'm responsible for what goes on with you online.
You never let me look at your phone. Who's responsible for you?
Jen's going to let that go.
What are you writing?
Hi.
Do you want me to dictate it
I
for you?
can do this.
His fingers hover. He taps something in. Deletes it. Hovers again.
Hi, Mandy. My mum wants to check with your mum about the cinema. Could you send me her number, please?
Hi. My embarrassing mother wants to
Check with your mum about the cinema.
check with your mom about the movies.
Then put an eye roll emoji.
I'm not putting an emoji.
Fine, don't put the emoji.
It's quite a good idea, though. He puts in the emoji. And they wait. Then there's a pop. Toby looks at the screen while Jen watches him. He's serious, then relieved, then gives a little smile at a joke about parents.
It's 077-824-7613.
Jen gets her phone, taps in the number.
We'll do this right now.
Tricky to see, but Toby's internal organs start playing musical chairs at the thought. Someone picks up.
Hi, this is Jen Matthews, Toby's mum. Hi. Sorry you didn't think of the small details like giving me your name. Sarah, hi. So our children have been getting to know each other on the Metropolitan line. I know. Getting blood from a stone. Now, are you aware of their latest plan?
As she talks, Jen walks off into the living room. Toby straight onto the private chat. He types.
Sorry, so embarrassing.
She types.
It's okay, parents.
Jen walks back into the room.
Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock, showing. Her dad will be dropping her off and picking her up.
The date is on. There's a flash of excitement across Toby's face. Then the dread kicks in.
What am I going to wear?
Interior, Jen and Toby's house, night. Upstairs, Toby is lying in bed staring at the ceiling. From his eyebrows and occasional twitch of his lips, we can see he's running through imaginary conversations again. But then there's a frown, a deep breath. The poor kid looks terrified. Downstairs, Jen's phone chimes as she watches TV. It's a text from Pete. Hi, can we talk? Jen checks the time, 11:43. She knows what this is about. She deletes the message, blocks the number. Interior Mall Cinema, afternoon. Toby is scanning the crowds as he stands by the automated ticket sales machines, checking the time on his phone constantly. Then Mandy materializes as a figure that looks like her dad gets shooed away. As she approaches, he can't help bobbing about from foot to foot.
Hi.
Here we go. Interior, cinema lobby. Toby and Mandy are in the queue for tickets. Side by side, they're both nervous and self-conscious.
It's a nice coat.
Thank you. I like yours.
Thanks. It was from the outlet mall.
The two close in on the ticket office, waiting for the next move.
Would it be okay if I bought the tickets?
Okay.
Great.
I get the popcorn.
It's okay, I can pay for that. I've got £30 with me.
Okay. Thanks.
Exterior concession stand. Queuing for snacks, Toby is now talking brightly, but slightly manically.
So the Horde used to be my favourite car, but with the latest nerf, it's lost a lot of its edge. The Queen's Battalion are more powerful now after the buff, but unless they've got a ridiculous air defence, they're vulnerable to air serpents, unless you've got the Queen too.
Could we talk about something else, maybe?
Oh, sure. Are there other games you're into on the home system?
I don't really play that much except on the train, or with my brother sometimes.
Oh, I thought you were into gaming.
Do you watch Dating Hell?
I'm not... No, not much really.
It was so good last night. Jordan, who thinks everyone just loves him, was on a double jeopardy date with Jack and Janelle and Jenna. He was supposed to be with Jenna, but ignored her all night, and at the end, both girls said they liked Jack better. I still think Jordan and Jenna are made to be together, though.
Toby nods. Interior cinema screens. They're waiting to get into the screen. Toby is bobbing about, but can't think of anything to say. Mandy watches a couple of other girls, maybe a year or so older than her, walking through to the screens with a couple of older, more boisterous boys. They're laughing, joshing, having a great time. She looks back at Toby. He gives her a shy, hopeful smile. It's not the same. An usher comes out of the screening room, a half-full rubbish bag. She nods that they can go in now. Interior screen 6, The Goonies return. In the small screening room, Toby and Mandy are sitting side by side. Toby is engrossed in the movie. Mandy seems more aware of the environment. Although they're about the same height, sitting down, she's strikingly taller than him. Exterior multi-story car park, later. Toby and Mandy are standing by the ticket machine waiting for a lift. Mandy's tapping away at her phone. Toby's just standing there.
I've been thinking. I'm going to send you the 11 Queen pack.
No, that's fine. You should keep it.
It doesn't really fit my strategy. And it's very rare. It wouldn't be right.
No, really.
The whoosh on Mandy's phone lets him know she's done it.
Oh, okay.
Even Toby can work out what that means.
My dad will be here in a minute.
Interior Mandy's dad's car, later.
So, did you two lovebirds enjoy the movie?
Dad!
I'm old enough to remember the original. Proper film. All this CGI is like watching cartoons.
Dad!
You like Star Wars film, right? Pumping lots of...
Dad!
Best special effects in the whole thing, Chewbacca. Never once do you think that's a lanky bloke in a monkey suit. He's a Wookiee, right?
Toby finally realizes he's supposed to answer.
Yeah.
I suppose you've heard about my Wookiee impression?
Dad!
Mandy's dad does a very loud and actually quite impressive impression of Chewie. Mandy looks across at Toby. Her eyebrows cannot believe what's going on. Toby smiles back sympathetically.
Cool.
Mandy's dad goes back to driving, whistling something like the theme to Star Wars. Mortified, Mandy gives Toby an apologetic, what is he like, smile. This never happens on Dating Hell. Toby keeps smiling back. Interior exterior, Jen and Toby's house, moments later. Mandy's dad's car pulls up at Toby's house. He creaks on the handbrake.
Well, here we are.
Toby quickly pops open his seatbelt. He looks over to Mandy, who looks awkwardly back. What are they supposed to do? Is he going to say something? He's not going to try and do something, is he? Just get out, Toby, out!
Okay, bye. Thank you.
On the street, Toby closes the door and stands on the curb. He gives a little wave as a car pulls off. Mandy's dad sticks his head out the window and gets a bit more chewy. On the wind, you can just hear a sharp call of,
Dad!
The car goes out of sight. Toby takes out his phone. He sees an Astroclash notification. One new card received from Princess Rainbow Dolphin. That's it. The date's over. There clearly won't be another one. But is that a relief? And can he now say he's done it? With the smallest of fist pumps, he turns to head into the house. Interior Jen and Toby's house hallway. Jen is waiting for Toby as he comes to the front door, worried and fearing the worst, but trying to be upbeat.
So, how'd it go?
Okay.
Toby can't really look up or at Jen, just stares at the floor.
Yeah, great. Did you get on well? Have a lot to talk about? Was it a good movie?
The movie was pretty good. Not as good as the original.
So, do you think it'll happen again? Would you like to invite her around?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No?
Toby supposes he might as well tell her.
She gave me back my Astroclash card.
Jen doesn't know what that is, but she knows it's not good.
Ah, love.
She gives him a bit of a hug, but he squirms away.
Are you hungry?
Toby shrugs.
There's a pizza in the oven.
Interior Toby and Jen's living room a little later. They're back together on the sofa, stuffed with stuffed crust, the TV on.
Look at us two, eh?
Toby nods.
Unlucky in love.
Well,
I'm very proud of you, you know. It's a brave thing to do at your age. At any age, really. You handled it like a decent human and you'll find someone very special someday.
Toby nods, taking the compliment. But also, what does she mean, someday?
I think we should do something to celebrate.
on a Sunday night?
I'm not suggesting we go clubbing. What'd you like to do? Your pick.
Anything?
Something we can do together.
Could we stream Death Mask?
That's a 15.
Yeah, but you said we could watch it sometime together.
Won't you get nightmares?
We'll be fine.
You won't start using inappropriate language.
I promise.
There's no nudie ladies.
Mum!
Jen looks doubtful.
I don't know. Doesn't sound like very responsible parenting, but there's no doubt you're growing up. There's a couple of magnums in the freezer. I think one of those could make me overlook it.
Yes!
Come on. Just a couple and set up the telly before I change my mind.
Thanks, Mum.
As he jumps up, he unselfconsciously gives her a hug and dashes for the kitchen. Jen watches him go, smiling as he disappears into the kitchen. Jen keeps staring at the door Toby went through, waiting for him to come back. We hear the sticky whump of a freezer door opening, her son searching for the ice cream. She knows that shared moments like this won't continue forever. Exterior Holland Park Station, afternoon. Toby approaches the lifts to the platforms. He can see Nick, along with some other classmates, standing waiting for the doors to close. He's about to veer towards the stairs when the spotty kid grabs Nick's trumpet case and jumps off the lift while the others hold Nick back.
Here, pass it.
The spotty kid offloads the trumpet to Toby, who dashes and puts his body into the closing lift doors, making them spring open. The other boys jeer and wail, and Toby gestures for Nick to get off. As the station manager approaches, the bullies leave Toby and Nick standing there. The spotty kid barges past them as the lift doors close again, joining his cronies.
Faggots.
Toby and Nick watch the lift descend. The doors of the next lift open and they get on.
Thanks.
It's okay.
The lift descends and the boys head to the platforms together. The platform is empty. The bullies are gone.
I thought you had school off Tuesdays.
No one is scholar anymore.
What happened?
In the benediction, I couldn't hit the note. They made me do it again in front of everyone.
Did you get it?
No, I told them I have a cold, but they said my voice is breaking. But it isn't. It can't be. I can sing it now.
Nick hits a sweet F over middle C that echoes down the platform.
See? They said I'd have to wait until it settles down and try again. But I don't want to be a tenor. It's so unfair.
Nick's really upset. Toby rests a hand on his shoulder.
You've still got orchestra.
Nick shrugs.
I'm sorry. I've been a bit of a bully lately. Well, not a bully, but
You have been a bully, but I understand. Stupid hormones.
Chris has started hanging out with year 10s.
They'll get him in trouble.
Do you think we should try for the 1609?
Well, it's too late today. And anyways, don't you need to wait to see your girlfriend?
She's just a friend.
Nick shrugs, kind of sympathetically. Then Toby has a thought.
But come here.
He leads Nick to the tube map on the wall.
I was thinking of a way we could do it.
We've tried everything.
Not everything. We've been too focused on Baker Street. Look at this.
Toby uses a finger to guide Nick around the map like an army general.
Shepherd's Bush overground towards Stratford. Change at West Hampstead. It's 3 minutes between the overground and the underground station. I think we can do it in 2. Jubilee back to Finchley Road, right carriage to make the run across the bridge, and we catch the 1609 as it arrives from Baker Street at 1613.
The Thames Link. Why haven't I thought of that before?
We'd be in Wembley Park before 20 past.
I thought you were only allowed to go the usual way home.
Toby looks willing to break the rules if Nick will.
It might work, but we're heading the wrong way.
As the boys talk, they become aware of the sound of a train coming in on another platform. The train that would take them west to Shepherd's Bush. They look at each other. Shall we? They burst into action, hoisting bags and running for the connecting tunnel.
The train on platform 1 terminates at High Note. Next station, Shepherd's Bush.
The boys, running ecstatically, turn the corner and we're left alone on the empty platform. But we still hear the sound of running footsteps, the beeping of doors about to close.
Mind the doors, please. Mind the closing doors.
The train pulls away, the race is on again. Fade out.